Thank you. I call Michelle Ballantyne to be followed by Bob Doris. Ms Ballantyne, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. May I first refer members to my register of interests as I am a business owner. In the short time I have today, I want to highlight a debate that's been going on for many years and one I took an interest in quite a long time ago, and one that I think has a role to play in building greater fairness in the workplace. It is slightly technical, so I hope you'll bear with me. It's human capital. Human capital is the skills, knowledge or experience possessed by an individual or group viewed in terms of their value. When coupled with effective human resource management, it is, in my opinion, a vital tool for achieving fairness in the workplace and for achieving inclusive growth. And I speak from a position of relative experience here, having owned and run businesses for over 30 years. I have seen firsthand the ways that human capital and human capital accounting could create rewarding, equitable opportunities for workers, employers and businesses. Currently, the value of human capital is not recorded anywhere in the financial statements of an organisation, nor can it be created as an intangible asset. In fact, human capital is not owned by an organisation at all, but rather by its employees. This is why investments in human capital are charged as an expense on the period incurred. No quantifiable asset is created. This leads to the irony that investment in training and better conditions of employment can actually weaken a company's balance sheet, particularly in the short term. By accounting for human capital, companies would potentially become much more transparent. By incorporating employees as assets, there is greater impetus for a company to invest in their staff by providing family-friendly policies, flexible working and opportunities for personal development. Factors such as staff retention and development would impact on a company's value, encouraging employers to invest in their staff and build organisational loyalty at all levels. We know that SMEs constitute over 99.4% of private businesses in Scotland, providing 1.2 million jobs and accounting for 55% of private sector employees. SMEs are the backbone of our economy, and the vision of the Fair Work Convention refers to a world-leading working life for all people in Scotland, including smaller employers. We must create a positive environment for employers in Scotland, one that encourages and supports entrepreneurial spirit and rewards success. These are often people who have taken the greatest amount of risk, investing their money, creating jobs, and often providing their homes as security for the business. By utilising human capital and effective HR practices in SMEs, employers can also feel the benefits by reaping the rewards of enhanced productivity with engaged staff who are more likely to remain with the company. As long as it's quick, because I don't want to run out of time.
I'll give you your time back. Cabinet Secretary.
Can I thank the member for taking intervention? She's mentioned both productivity and staff retention, and I agree with her on those points. Would she recognise the link, though, that many people have made between being paid a proper living wage and staff retention and productivity? The two go hand in hand. Would she agree with that?
Yes.
Michelle Ballantyne.
Yes, I would agree there is a link for many people, because if they can't earn enough in the job they're in to survive and pay their bills, then the impetus is on them to look for something else. So retention is linked. In a recent study by HR Magazine, Jill Crowther, HR Director at a British SME called Nominet, said, "I would encourage SMEs to think about people earlier rather than later, because once it's gone wrong and you've got 150 disengaged people, it's very hard to put right." While at Daisy Group, a communications service provider which recently evolved from an SME into a major firm employing 1,500 people, they have seen the value of this approach firsthand. Steve Smith, the firm's finance director, notes that HR used to be an administrative function. We used to have to recruit senior people externally because we didn't have them ready. Now we want to grow them internally. Where we used to think about recruitment, now we think about retention. Deputy Presiding Officer, not only does this approach help a company grow, it can increase job security for employers and employees alike. Although many SMEs are shy of these approaches, viewing them as bureaucratic, once implemented, they can really help these companies. Alongside this, I would like to see an anonymous application system introduced, where the candidate's name, race and gender are not made available, and therefore only the best suited candidates are shortlisted. This way, employees are selected on merit in a fair and transparent process. This is an approach that Deloitte have recently recommended, noting that the Australian state of Victoria is leading the way in removing all personal details from job applicants, thus assessing each person on their human capital. Deloitte also suggests that organisation would also benefit from expanding the definition of diversity beyond demographic and social identities to cover the full range of human capital. Research shows that one of the biggest sources of bias at companies is lack of diversity of thought, and I feel that by taking a more objective approach, some of the bias around this can be resolved. In conclusion, Presiding Officer, human capital and its associated systems should be a major step towards preparing our economy and workplaces for what I see as the fourth industrial revolution. We need to assess how people can be best deployed and how they can be helped to grow as part of a system that values and recognises their contributions. Whatever the future may hold, it is clear that our current methods for evaluating and valuing our workforces are unfit for purpose.
You must stop. The intervention only took 15 seconds. I timed it precisely. Thank you. You must sit down. I call now